Because of Leo Carter's words, "I'll take care of you," I, already a rising Hollywood star, was forced to become a full-time housewife. In the third year of our marriage, while I was undergoing IVF treatment alone at the hospital, he was watching another woman's live dance performance on Broadway. When we divorced, he was certain I would regret it. Yet, at my Oscar-winning Best Actress Awards ceremony, he knelt before me with a bouquet of roses, saying he wanted to win me back. The man beside me asked, "Mr. Carter, are you trying to pursue my girlfriend now?" "I won't allow that. Today is the embryo transfer day, and I came to the hospital alone." The doctor couldn't help but ask, "Why isn't your husband accompanying you during such an important moment?" I smiled bitterly. "He's busy with work." The doctor sighed, "Having a child is a joint effort. How can you let your wife face it alone?" How I wish Leo could accompany me to the hospital. But he said his work schedule has been packed recently, and he had already signed contracts with others. Breaking them would cost a fortune. After the surgery, a needle-like pain lingered in my lower abdomen. I sat on a chair outside the consultation room and sent Leo a text. "Honey, the embryo transfer is done. We're going to have a baby. I'm so excited." Exiting the chat window, I opened Instagram, typed Leo Carter, and found a new post from a fan on his fan page. At a Broadway musical, I unexpectedly spotted my idol Leo Carter in the audience, snapped a photo together. So thrilled. Today was a successful day of meeting my celebrity crush. Attached images. One is a fan photo with Leo, the other is the musical ticket. I'm puzzled. He claimed he couldn't spare even 2 hours to accompany me to the hospital, so how did he find time to watch a musical? I searched online using the musical's name from the ticket gate and discovered the lead dancer was Isabella Reed. She is a dancer who won the championship in a dance competition show last year. Once at a gala, Leo performed a song while Isabella danced as his backup. I saw her during rehearsals. At that moment, it felt like something tugged at my heart. Soon after, I searched for Isabella Reed on Instagram and found her account. Her latest post was shared 10 minutes ago. He said the dazzling version of me on stage captivated him. The photo was taken from the audience's perspective. Scrolling further down, he said this dish is called Two Hearts Holding Hands. My clenched heart finally sank completely. This was the dish Leo and I had on our first wedding anniversary. The dish was my own creation, and I came up with the name myself too. Leo asked me to teach him, saying he'd be in charge of making this dish from now on, only for me. Now, he's made it for another woman too. Scrolling further down, the records about him began from 1.5 years ago. As I browsed through hundreds of sweet daily moments that belonged to the two of them, my fingers trembled slightly against the phone screen, and before I knew it, my vision had blurred. I looked up in confusion, scanning my surroundings. The person to my left was fanning themselves with a paper fan printed with small advertisements. To my right, someone held a palm-sized portable fan. Perhaps the breeze they generated was too strong. I got goosebumps. That evening, Leo unusually came home during dinner time. Why aren't the lights on? I don't remember how I got home from the hospital. Since returning, I've been curled up on the sofa. My mind keeps replaying these 5 years, from when Leo and I first met, to falling in love, and then getting married. Leo bent down, his hand sliding under my shirt to gently caress my abdomen. His warm breath brushed against my neck as his deep voice murmured near my ear, "Does it still hurt?" 10 consecutive days of ovulation-stimulating shots have left my belly button surrounded by dense clusters of puncture marks. I wouldn't have needed to endure this, but Leo has oligospermia, making natural conception highly unlikely. I shook off his hand, sat up straight, and glared into his eyes. He froze for 2 seconds before chuckling lightly. "Chloe, what's wrong? Who made you angry? Why so serious? Was the musical good? Huh?" He frowned slightly, clearly caught off guard by my sudden question. "Leo, if you were truly busy with work, I'd understand you not accompanying me to the hospital. But the truth? While I was enduring the pain of embryo transfer at the hospital, you were enjoying a musical? If I hadn't seen those fan photos on their fan page, I'd still be kept in the dark." "Chloe, you've misunderstood. My assistant and I were handling business near the theater. While waiting for our driver to bring the car from the parking lot, we happened to see the posters at the theater entrance and went in out of curiosity. We left within 10 minutes. He looked utterly sincere. Had I not seen Isabella's social media post, I might have actually believed his nonsense. I might have even felt guilty for doubting him. But now, I still lack the courage to confront him outright, to tell him I know everything about him and Isabella. Leo and I met 5 years ago at a friend's party. At the time, he was an up-and-coming pop singer, and I was a rising film actress. After the gathering, he pursued me passionately. Over 2 years, we dated and entered marriage. At our wedding, he sang a song he wrote especially for me, full of deep affection. After marriage, he continued to pamper me, tolerate me, and give me a strong sense of security. But in the past year, his workload has increasingly grown, and the time he spends with me has become less and less. My sixth sense tells me that some subtle change has unconsciously emerged between us. I thought it might just be my imagination, but now, Leo was taking a shower when my phone rang. I glanced at the screen. Watch hubby's new variety show at 8:10 p.m. This is a schedule reminder I set a few days ago. I'm Leo's devoted fan and never miss any of his new shows when they air. My mind is in chaos right now, but I still can't resist turning on the TV. During the game segment, Leo lost. The host requested him to sing a song. Without hesitation, the host said, "I'd like to hear My Romance is Loving You." Leo looked troubled and said, "This song doesn't seem to fit today's atmosphere. Let's pick another one." The host asked in confusion, "Today is the Valentine's Day special. How could it not fit?" This was the song he wrote for me on our first anniversary. At that time, he was on his national concert tour. Today marks 1 year since Chloe and I started dating. I wrote a song specifically for her called My Romance is Loving You. The venue erupted in excitement. Sitting in the front row, I listened to his singing voice and was moved to tears. The host turned the microphone toward the audience. "Do you all want to hear it?" "We do." In the end, Leo still sang it. It had been over a year since I last heard him sing this song. In my memory, whenever someone asked him to sing this song before, he never refused. After finishing, he would even voluntarily share the story behind the song's creation. Moments like these always made me feel so blissful. I've heard him sing it hundreds of times. How could I not notice that today? He wasn't immersed in the song, that he wasn't singing with the emotion it deserved. At the end of the show, the host said, "Our Leo is here today with his new song. Let's welcome him to introduce it to us." The new song I've composed is called Dancing on My Heartstrings. I hope everyone will like it. As I watched him sing with such deep emotion, my heart contracted with twinges of pain. That year, that day, he held me and said, "Leo Carter will only ever compose songs tailor-made for one woman, Chloe Miller." Now, he's done the same for another woman. And yet he avoids writing that song for me. How ironic. The bathroom door opened, and Leo emerged wrapped in a towel. A stern face, a firm chest, suntanned skin. Just like when I first fell in love with him, he noticed my gaze and teased, "Are you mesmerized by my figure?" I quickly turned away and pointed at the TV. "How come you never mentioned releasing a new song?" He froze. I continued, "Dancing on My Heart. That's quite a nice song title, isn't it?" I said it with a smile, but my heart ached so badly at that moment. He suddenly looked enlightened. "I've been so busy lately, I completely forgot to share this with you. It's a song I improvised." I still wore a faint smile. "Oh, what inspired our big star to have such strong creative urges?" He rubbed the tip of his nose, "Just watched a dance show and felt inspired." "A dance show? Inspired you?" Goodness, lies really do roll off the tongue these days. Watching his figure walking toward the bedroom, I suddenly felt he had become so unfamiliar. It completely didn't match the boy in my memory who would blush and stammer whenever he told a lie. During breakfast the next day, he said between bites, "There's a business event. I'll be out of town for 3 days." "So sudden?" "Yeah," he replied. "I got a message from my manager right after waking up. Listen to the doctor and stay in bed without too much movement. Tell Maria whatever you want to eat." I touched my belly. Was the child already there? Until yesterday, I had longed for a baby that belonged to Leo and me. I willingly endured countless injections and took so many pills. But now, I hesitated. After Leo left, I couldn't resist opening Isabella's Instagram again. He promised me he wouldn't sing that song anymore, but he broke his word. The accompanying image shows a chat log. Though pixelated, the silhouette still clearly reveals Leo's profile picture. Leo apologized to Isabella, calling her my baby, and transferred $5,210 to her. Isabella had Leo saved in her contacts as my love. It suddenly struck me, Leo hadn't called me that in such a long time. His darling is still around, except it's not me anymore. On the third day after Leo left, I came across news about him while scrolling through TikTok. Headline, Leo Carter spotted entering upscale restaurant side by side with unidentified woman to meet director David Foster. I downloaded the video and sent it to Leo. New assistant? 4 hours later, Leo finally replied, "Not an assistant, just a friend. She wants to break into acting, and director Foster happens to be preparing a new project, so I introduced them. I knew perfectly well she wasn't an assistant. I only asked to see what he'd say. She's got decent looks and an immense passion for acting." Decent looks? Passion for acting? Those words stabbed right through my heart. I confronted him. "Leo, that's downright dishonorable. You always said Hollywood was complicated, a dangerous place. Why are you pushing a friend straight into the fire now?" Before getting together with Leo, I had starred in several blockbuster films and successfully made my way into the A-list. But after marrying him, he said Hollywood was too complicated for someone as innocent as me. He wanted me to stay home as a full-time housewife. He'd take care of me. At first, I resisted. Ever since childhood, I'd been passionate about acting. Starting from the age of 8, I'd spend my summer vacations convincing my parents to take me to audition for minor roles in film sets. At 18, I successfully got into Juilliard. He knew full well how much I loved acting, yet still made me give up my dreams. Now, Isabella wants to act, and not only does he not stop her, but he even helps her make connections. He said, "Your situations are different." I asked him, "Then tell me, how exactly are they different?" He changed the subject. "Let's not talk about this now. I have work later. By the way, I won't be coming home tomorrow. There's a new work assignment. Not sure when I'll be back." He dodged my questions, but I already knew the answer in my heart. It was never about whether Hollywood was complicated or not. He simply couldn't stand his wife outshining him, so he crushed my dreams and cut off my path forward. Trapping me at home, he made me revolve my entire world around him. Isabella's status was inferior to his, so he needed to take her to see the broader world to showcase his charm in front of her and make her admire him. In the following days, I would stalk Isabella's Instagram several times a day. They went surfing in Hawaii, basking in the sun on the beach. They went hiking at night, capturing photos with the sunrise, stayed in a forest log cabin hotel, and woke up feeling the breath of nature in the morning, wandering through food streets in various cities, savoring the flavors of mortal life. These were experiences Leo and I once shared together too. The last time we traveled together was already a year and a half ago. I kept telling myself inwardly, "Chloe, he's no longer the Leo you loved. He's fallen for someone else. Wake up already." The day had come for my blood test at the hospital. While waiting for the results, my heart was filled with anxiety. I kept praying over and over in my heart that I must not be pregnant. But contrary to my wishes, the test report clearly stated, positive. What should I do? I opened the chat window with Leo, typed out a message, then deleted it. After repeating this 3 times, I still didn't end up sending it. I wanted him to know, yet didn't want him to know either. I wandered aimlessly through the streets, watching the endless flow of people passing by. Yet my heart felt hollow, uncertain of where to go next. I was simply walking down the street. Who would have thought I'd end up as entertainment headlines the very next day? Former actress Chloe Miller retired from showbiz for love, now overweight and a far cry from her glamorous past. Turns out I was photographed by paparazzi yesterday. In order to conceive, I haven't been watching my diet recently, plus the hormone shots I'm taking caused me to suddenly gain over 10 pounds. I looked completely different from my glamorous self in front of the camera before. Some people in the comments are mocking my figure, while others speculate that I'm pregnant. Some people say I'm no longer worthy of Leo. Just then, Leo suddenly called, and I thought it might be time to tell him about my pregnancy. However, the moment I answered the phone, his voice was dripping with disdain and impatience. "Chloe, you've gained so much weight recently, and to make matters worse, you got caught by the paparazzi. You're embarrassing me. Sign up for a fitness class and lose some weight." I couldn't believe my ears. Those words actually came from Leo's mouth. A surge of fury gathered in my chest. "Leo, don't you know exactly why I've gained weight? After all the suffering I endured to have our child, how dare you criticize me for being fat? Who do you think you are?" Tears streamed uncontrollably down my face, leaving me struggling for breath. I'm trying my best to calm my emotions down. "Leo, let's get divorced. When are you coming back? I'll make an appointment in advance, and we'll go to the courthouse to handle the paperwork as soon as you return." I finally took this step, and surprisingly, there came a feeling of complete relaxation in both body and mind. For a while there, I was like a thief peeping at the sweet moments he shared with Isabella, only to wallow in misery afterward by myself. I've had enough of this pathetic life. "Chloe, what's this nonsense about divorce?" "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said those things to you. I meant every word," I reiterated. "Leo, let's get divorced." He dodged my statement completely, changing the subject abruptly. "By the way, have you been to the hospital for a checkup? Are you pregnant?" I replied coldly, "No." He hadn't asked about the child once these past few days, and now he suddenly remembers. But it was all too late. I've scheduled an abortion procedure for next week. "My child, Mommy is so sorry. I chose you with such hopeful anticipation, but now I have to let you go." This decision was made after careful consideration. Moreover, I had no intention of telling Leo about it. 2 days later, Leo finally returned. I handed him the prepared divorce papers and said, "Take a look first. If there are no issues, just sign them." He glanced at the divorce papers in my hand, his expression visibly irritated. "Stop making unreasonable demands," he said. "Didn't I already apologize to you? Why must you keep pressing?" An apology? Does a simple sorry erase the harm done to someone else?" I sneered. "Had a great time with Isabella, didn't you?" His face filled with disbelief as he averted his gaze. "What are you talking about? I don't understand." I slammed the pile of printed Instagram posts featuring Isabella onto his face. "Don't do the crime if you can't do the time." Leo crouched down to look at the papers. "What does this prove? Neither my name nor my photo is mentioned." "Stop being so paranoid, will you?" Watching him make excuses, my chest heaved with anger, but I couldn't utter a single word. Leo's gaze fell on my stomach. "This time wasn't successful because of your bad mood, I suppose." He hugged me gently and said, I won't blame you for not conceiving this time. Just take good care of your body and try to succeed next time. I broke free from his embrace, entered the bedroom, and locked the door from inside. Looking at the empty room, I felt a wave of relief wash over me. After making up my mind to divorce, I packed up all my belongings and moved back to my pre-marriage apartment. Hearing the sound of water running in the bathroom, I opened the door and left. Sitting in the car, I posted a tweet, "Chloe Miller and Leo Carter have ended their marriage, wishing each other well in the years to come." 5 minutes later, it trended on Twitter. Hashtag Chloe Leo divorce. Hashtag Chloe Leo divorce reason. Hashtag former model couple parts ways. 30 minutes later, Leo finally called. His voice came through gritted teeth from the other end. "Chloe Miller, I never realized before, you're downright ruthless. You forced my hand. Sign the divorce papers promptly, or I'll expose your affair with Isabella to the world. Chloe, do you have to be so heartless?" I let out a bitter laugh. "Leo, get this straight. You're the one who cheated. And now you're calling me heartless? Should I post this online right now and let everyone judge who's really being heartless?" Leo's tone softened. "Chloe, please give me another chance. I promise, I'll end things with her immediately." I said calmly, "Don't bother. I'm stepping aside for you too. Let alone whether they could actually end it. Even if they did, what difference would it make? I have witnessed how he broke his promises and betrayed our marriage. Even after the needle is pulled out, the puncture mark remains on the skin's surface." In the end, Leo agreed to divorce. He grew up in a single-parent household with his mother, who worked 2 jobs every day to support his musical journey. Making it to where he is now, one can only imagine the hardships he endured. I firmly believe he wouldn't risk his career over this. At this point, I don't even want to ask when things started between him and Isabella. It's meaningless now. The agreement clearly states we split the assets 50-50. But whatever Leo transferred to Isabella must be returned. A few days later, lying on the operating table, the doctor asked me once more, "Are you certain? You really don't want to keep it?" I caressed my lower abdomen and closed my eyes. "Let's do it. I'm sorry, my child. Mommy doesn't have the courage to bring you into this world alone. Everything has been settled. From now on, I'll live for myself. I'm going to return to the acting industry I love." I contacted my former agent, and after learning about my situation, she agreed to work with me again. But the harsh reality was right before my eyes. During the 3 years I was away, Hollywood no longer had a place for me. Roles used to come to me of their own accord, letting me pick and choose. Now, I had to beg everywhere just for a suitable acting opportunity. Just as I was feeling despondent, I happened to see an open casting call for a historical palace drama. The synopsis and multiple character introductions really piqued my interest. The series' chief director is still that renowned filmmaker who has created several hit dramas. My agent didn't quite approve when learning about my idea. She felt that since I was once a top-tier actress, participating in open auditions would be beneath my status. But I feel we should clearly see the current situation and not live in the past. The director had me audition for 2 roles. His expression remained indifferent, and afterward, I was told to go home and wait for updates. Leaving the audition venue, I felt somewhat dejected, reflecting on the shortcomings of my performance. "Chloe, what are you doing here?" I turned to look. It was Leo. "Are you planning to make a comeback in acting? I'd advise you to give it up. At your age, you probably won't land any decent roles. Just like before, I'll give you a monthly allowance. Wouldn't it be better for you to stay at home? Why insist on stirring up trouble when you could live comfortably?" I scoffed. "So you can have a stable wife at home while you continue your carefree lifestyle outside?" As I tried to leave, Leo stepped forward to stop me. Right then, the assistant director called to inform me that I had been cast as the queen in the play. This character was also one I admired. As I was leaving, Leo said once more that I'd regret leaving him sooner or later. When my car had driven some distance away, I saw Isabella running joyfully out from the audition venue and throwing herself into Leo's arms. I wanted to say that leaving him was something I'd never regret. A month later, filming began. I played the queen, while Isabella played a gossipy maidservant. There was a scene where a handmaiden offended the queen and received a slap as punishment. To capture the realism of the scene, the director instructed me beforehand that it had to be a real slap, and we couldn't let the other party know it would be real. When I delivered a solid slap across Isabella's face, she was furious. "Chloe Miller, you're using this as an excuse for personal revenge." She came at me with claws bared, only to be stopped by the crew members nearby. "Why are you holding me back? I'm going to hit her back." The director scolded her. "I told them to hit for real. What are you screaming about? If you can't handle this as a professional actor, then what business do you have acting? If you can't do the job, just say so. There's a whole line of people waiting." Isabella wanted to say something more but was ultimately silenced by the director's piercing glare. She shot me a resentful look, which I completely ignored. That evening, just as I arrived at the hotel entrance arranged by the crew, Leo suddenly appeared, with a red-eyed Isabella trailing behind him. "Chloe, if you have any grievances, take them out on me. Why make things difficult for Isabella?" Am I making things difficult for her? Isabella's lips curled into a teasing smile. I suggest you get the full story straight before coming to accuse me. Isabella tugged at Leo's arm, saying pitifully, Leo, I'm really fine. I don't blame Chloe. I can understand why she's unhappy that you're with me. Leo gently patted her shoulder. Isabella, you're always so kind and understanding, but this will put you at a disadvantage. I frowned at what I was hearing. What nonsense was this? Since she wanted to play this manipulative game, don't blame me for getting tough. I signaled with my eyes to an assistant nearby, who nodded in response. While they were engrossed in their tender moment, my assistant and I quickly slipped into the hotel. By the time we heard Leo shouting from behind, we were already inside the elevator. 10 minutes later, major entertainment news accounts on TikTok and Instagram simultaneously released videos from today's filming location. Of course, there was also the video of Leo and Isabella confronting me at the hotel entrance earlier. When the director informed me we would shoot a real slap scene, I anticipated potential fallout and discreetly instructed my assistant to record the entire process. When I saw Leo approaching at the hotel entrance, my sharp-witted assistant knew exactly what to do without me saying a word. As soon as the video was released, anyone with eyes could tell the nature of Leo and Isabella's relationship. Soon enough, people used the Instagram post shared by Isabella to confirm Leo's infidelity with her. Cheating scumbags get out of Hollywood. Been a fan since Leo debuted, officially unstanding today. Heart goes out to Chloe. Hope big sister focuses on her career from now on. Soon, the comment sections under Leo and Isabella's social media posts were flooded, with netizens showering them with all kinds of greetings. Both promptly disabled commenting features. The production team, considering the risks posed by controversial actors to the future broadcast of the drama, decided to replace Isabella. Fortunately, filming had just begun, so reshoots were minimal. Leo had to halt his half-prepared nationwide concert tour as sponsors and advertisers withdrew their partnerships one after another. Leo sent me a message. Chloe, I was deceived by Isabella. I'm sorry. This time we've broken up for good. Will you forgive me and give me another chance? I didn't reply, straight away blocking him across all communication platforms. This ordeal unexpectedly boosted my popularity. Even before wrapping up my current drama shoot, 7 or 8 premium TV and film scripts had already landed in my hands. My agent was also surprised that I suddenly became popular again like this. After wrapping up the historical drama, I took on another movie. One day, as soon as I entered the studio, a handsome and sunny-looking man approached me with a smile. Hello, Ms. Miller, long time no see. At first, I didn't recognize him, but after his reminder, I remembered that he had photographed me for a magazine cover 6 years ago. He had just entered the photography industry at that time and lacked confidence, especially when faced with someone like me, who was already an A-lister. He became even more nervous. We took several shots without achieving the desired results. You didn't lose patience. Instead, you comforted and encouraged me, boosting my confidence, and we quickly produced some great shots. Since that time, I've gained more confidence in my work, and things have gone increasingly smoothly afterwards. I never expected that an unintentional action from the past could have such a significant impact on someone else. Ethan Wright has now become the go-to cinematographer for major domestic film productions. He has won numerous prestigious photography awards both domestically and internationally. The day before the contract signing, my agent received a notice saying the role originally meant for me had been given to someone else. If I still wanted to be part of this film, I could consider other roles. I really liked this character and couldn't accept being replaced so easily. Ethan tipped me off that it was the investors who insisted on choosing the actor. This actress is named Isabella Reed. I couldn't help but wonder, since she has such powerful connections, why did she need Leo to pave the way for her before? And why did she even bother with open auditions? Soon, my agent used industry connections to uncover that Isabella had latched onto a wealthy man 3 months prior, the general manager of the company investing in this film. After learning I was cast as the female lead, Isabella actively pleaded with her sugar daddy to replace me. I searched online for information about this benefactor and discovered that the company's chairman wasn't him, it was his wife. He climbed the ladder through his wife's connections. I wrote down everything about Isabella and the general manager, put it in an express document envelope. I found a local courier to deliver it to the company's front desk, instructing them to personally hand it over to the chairman. Later, I received news that Isabella had her leg broken in some dark corner of the night. She couldn't see the attacker's face, and the surveillance cameras didn't capture anything. Rumor has it she caught the general manager's heart with her graceful dancing. As for that general manager, he lost his position because his lust clouded his judgment. The assistant director informed my agent, there's been a slight health issue with that actress, so the female lead will still be Chloe Miller. If you have no objections, we'll sign the formal contract tomorrow. During the half year of filming, Ethan and I grew increasingly familiar with each other. During that time, I came across a TV drama script that I really liked. Because the subject matter was quite niche, It had been struggling to secure sufficient funding and remained unproduced for a long time. I shared my thoughts with Ethan, and he supported my decision to invest. In fact, he decided to invest alongside me. "I believe in you, let's take this gamble together." After the show was completed, it unexpectedly gained quick traction. Several major TV networks purchased its broadcasting rights. Once it aired, the ratings soared. The historical palace drama I filmed also aired during this period and received favorable responses. These two dramas dominated the top 2 spots in the ratings, leaving other shows far behind. In an instant, I achieved both fame and fortune. With this successful investment experience under my belt, I was filled with confidence. In the future, if I encounter roles I truly love, I might even invest in them myself, no longer needing to worry about being arbitrarily replaced. In the year since divorcing Leo, he's been calling me from a new phone number every so often. For every new number he used, I blocked it. On social media, he'd also post confusing messages every now and then. Things like writing a new song for me or creating a dish he wanted to cook for me. Of course, I didn't have the patience to check his updates. It was my assistant who mentioned it during idle chat. I always just laugh it off. Once I cared deeply about these things, but when I learned that he had used the secrets of our love, which belonged solely to us, on another woman, my love for him gradually faded away. The queen role in a historical palace drama earned me the Best Actress award. At the awards ceremony, in that moment, I became the center of attention. When the host on stage called out my name, I was moved to tears of joy. 6 years have passed, from being at the top of the entertainment industry to becoming a housewife, and now to standing on this awards stage. There's so much I want to say, yet I don't know where to begin. I owe this award to the guidance of my director and the support of all my fellow cast and crew members. At the same time, I also want to thank myself for never giving up on myself. And here, I want to tell everyone, no matter when or what circumstances you face, never easily abandon your dreams. Thunderous applause erupted from the audience below. As I stepped off the stage, Leo stood before me holding a bouquet of roses. Before I could react, he dropped to one knee. "Chloe, let me pursue you again. Will you be my girlfriend?" All eyes in the surroundings turned toward us. I felt both angry and embarrassed. "What are you doing?" "Leo, we're already divorced." "I know that. That's why I wasn't talking about remarriage earlier. I meant to pursue you all over again." People nearby whispered among themselves. Didn't they divorce because Leo cheated? How can he still have the nerve to ask his ex-wife to get back together? Making such a scene in public, doesn't he care about looking shameful? Belated affection isn't worth a penny. Leo gazed at me fervently. "Chloe, say yes." I said coldly, "No way, don't indulge in wishful thinking." At that moment, Ethan flashed to my side, hooked my arm, and gave me a reassuring look. Then he asked Leo in a challenging tone, "Mr. Carter, are you trying to pursue my girlfriend?" "I won't allow that." The moment Ethan took my arm, Leo froze in place. Now hearing Ethan refer to me as his girlfriend again, disbelief flashed in my eyes. I quickly stood up and grabbed him by the collar. "You're lying, that can't be true." He then turned to look at me. "Chloe, tell me this isn't real." "It's true, Leo," I said calmly. "I have a boyfriend now, so please stop bothering me. What we had is already in the past." People nearby congratulated Ethan and me, while Leo's face was full of dejection. At that moment, someone in the crowd casually remarked that Ethan was a photographer. Leo's eyes instantly lit up. "Chloe, he's just some small-time photographer. He's probably only with you because of your fame, not because he truly loves you." I scoffed coldly. "Weren't you the one who kept saying you loved me? And yet you still ended up with another woman." "I won't do it again, believe me. I really won't." At this moment, the host on stage announced, "The award for Best Cinematography goes to Ethan Wright." The people nearby urged Ethan to go up to the stage, and I softly said to him, "Go on, I'm fine." A few people around us began whispering. Ethan Wright was the winner of last year's International Pioneer Photography Award. Only 30 years old, what a talented young man. And with Chloe Miller, they make such a perfect match. Truly a talented pair. Leo's face darkened again. He glanced at me, then turned and walked away. After the awards ceremony, I expressed my gratitude to Ethan. "Thank you for saving me back there." Ethan said with complete seriousness, "Chloe, I meant every word. I want you to be my girlfriend." On the 1-year anniversary of Ethan and I reuniting, I finally said yes to his confession. Though I've experienced the agony of betrayal, I still believe in love and am willing to try again. On this same day 1 year later, Ethan proposed to me, saying, "Chloe, I hope the coming decades between us will be like these past 2 years, where we often share our dreams, talk about our respective work, and discuss every topic that interests us." After marriage, you'll still be you. Whatever you want to pursue, I'll support you. Perhaps this is the greatest difference between Ethan and Leo. Leo restrained my dreams, while Ethan supported me in pursuing them. In the second year of our marriage, we were blessed with a sweet, delicate baby girl. After walking out of the awards ceremony that day, Leo drank straight liquor all night and scorched his vocal cords. He could never sing again, bidding a permanent farewell to the stage. After 6 years of marriage to Ethan, I ran into him outside a convenience store while holding my 5-year-old daughter's hand. I didn't see him, he noticed me first. "Chloe, it's been so long." I froze for several seconds, desperately searching my mind to place who this balding, beer-bellied man with a hoarse voice could be. Do I know him? He must have noticed I didn't recognize him. He smiled bitterly. "I'm Leo Carter." I was startled, staring at him intently, trying to find traces of the Leo the first remembered in his appearance. He pointed at my daughter. "This is your child, right? Quite adorable, takes after you. Do you have children too?" He shook his head. "You know how it is, I probably won't ever have children in this lifetime." At this moment, I suddenly remembered the unborn child. "Leo, that time, it actually worked." "What?" "That IVF attempt, I got pregnant, but I chose to end it. You should understand why." He stood frozen as I turned and walked away with my daughter. The Leo who composed the song "My Romance is Loving You for Me" will forever remain in my distant memories. The end.